How do you ruin something that at one time was the greatest thing on earth? How do you penetrate something and explode it, which at one time was the most impenetrable thing on this entire planet? It's very simple. You infiltrate the damn core of it and you implode it from the inside out. And that's exactly what seems to be happening in this nation right now. Now, when I refer to those people, I don't need to name a side. I also don't need to name any groups. It is simply those people, and everything is understood. They even answer to it. If you don't believe me, try it. Now, with that being said, there is a bunch of ideologies that have come to light in about the last 3 years that people seem to have really, really strong beliefs on. What they are seeming to kind of forget is that there are beliefs in this country by people like myself and people like my family and my friends and everyone else that I've ever talked to that I consider to have good sense. And they also have beliefs. The difference between us and them can be summed up in one simple question, which I believe that everyone in this nation should be underneath a lie detector test and be asked. I am more than willing to be put underneath a lie detector test and ask this question because I know my answer. Because my father and my grandfather and my forefathers before him, they stood for something as well. They had beliefs of their own. The difference between me, my father, my great-grandfather, and my forefathers before him is that the beliefs that we still hold on to through me are so near and dear to our heart that I am literally willing to die to protect those beliefs. Now, there has been some ideologies come up in the last 3 years by some members of this nation who are perfectly legal to have their own ideas and everything like that. But I believe that it has gone a little bit further than that, to the point that we are looking at reverting back to the early days of this country and going into a revolution. The revolution will not be us against a different country. It will not even be white people versus black people. It's simply going to be red versus blue. Because people seem to have such strong opinions on it that it seems to me that they are willing to answer that question and mean it. Here's where I believe there's going to be a little bit of turmoil. I don't believe that they feel as strongly about their new beliefs that they just came up with because they are bored as I do, that had instilled in me through my father, my grandfather, and my forefathers. And it is simply the fact that they have started to threaten the average American's way of life that is turning this nation against each other. When you start threatening our children, when you start threatening our Second Amendment, and when you start threatening the way that we've done things in this country for hundreds of years, there's going to be pushback. Now, the majority, myself included, have been silent for a long time, kind of just letting whatever's going on in left field play out in left field. But once you brought the kids into it, and once you went after the Second Amendment, you need to understand something. We don't fight with feelings. We don't. And when that day comes, because it's not if anymore, it is now when. When that day comes, the side that you chose to be on is the side you stay on. There's no I'm sorry's, there's no I'm wrongs. So before you really, really get out there and you voice your opinion about some of this new stuff that's going around, you need to ask yourself one question. And I asked myself this same question before I made this video. Are you willing to die for your beliefs? I can honestly tell you, with my hand on the Holy Bible and my other hand on my father's grave, that I will take one right between the eyes and never blink to make sure that what I believe is correct continues in this nation that I'm proud to be a part of and that I call home. Now, if you feel as strongly as I do about this, and your answer is yes to these new ideologies that have come to life, I'll see you on the battlefield. If the answer is no, I highly suggest that you shut up, because we've had enough and we don't fight with feelings. Shit.